NFL Week 7 Sunday Night Football. The Atlanta Falcons at my San Francisco 49ers. Two teams, recently at least, seemingly headed in opposite directions. We'll talk about the red-hot play we're seeing from Atlanta, especially coming in off that win against the Bills. We'll talk about best bets for this game, of course. Maybe some player prop topics as well. Much, much more here coming up. Ninja, here with Nick Holz. Welcome to the channel. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We bring you previews for all NFL primetime games, so turn those notifications on and let us know what you're going to bet for this thing in the comments section below. Nick, 49ers sort of opened -3 at home here. It's now 2.5, or even I'm seeing some 2s out there, but a tough one to cap here with this one. A few days away from Sunday. How tough, in your opinion, is this game to handicap with rumors, sort of swirling that we could see Brock Purdy return, we could see George Kittle come back, Ricky Pearsall, or do you just go into this one believing that these guys will suit up for Sunday Night Football?
Yeah, an intriguing matchup here, and one that will certainly be decided by a lot of these players either suiting up or not on Sunday night, right? Shanahan's an offensive wizard, and he's earned that reputation for good reason in the NFL. But without your starting quarterback, your probably top 3 pass catchers and 2 defensive leaders, just how much does this 49ers team have in the tank? At the same time, on the other side, we've got a Falcons team that beat the Bills on Monday night, but also lost 30-0 to the Panthers earlier this season. So 2 teams really searching for consistency. And in my eyes, I always cap a game as if they're not going to play until I hear otherwise, especially with some of these longer term injuries that have kind of had the George Kittle's of the world a little bit more hobbled. And just, is he 100% out there? How well is he going to play if he does suit up? All those things factor into how I cap the game. And, with the 49ers, a team just decimated by injuries, it can be really, really tough to, project how this team's going to play.
You mentioned Kittle. I do want to talk about him, and you mentioned those defensive leaders, and I do want to talk about that, and I want to talk about Bijan as well. But first, the Falcons have suddenly turned into one of the hottest teams in the league the past couple of weeks, and you mentioned that bizarre result against the Panthers a few weeks ago. But now they come in with a win against one of the favorites for the Super Bowl, the Buffalo Bills. Michael Penix feeling a bit more confident on the offensive side of things with 2 wins in a row here. Have the Atlanta Falcons, Nick, figured something out here?
Yeah, I really think they have. I mean, we've seen Michael Penix just absolutely slinging that thing from inside the pocket. He's got a rifle of a left arm, and he's showing it off. I mean, Drake London playing well. Bijan with a breakout game last week. He's Bijan Robinson, and he's going to put up, 170 total yards if you let him. Falcons sit 10th in total DVOA, 2nd in the league in total offense, and 1st in yards allowed defensively. After Monday, they're also 2nd in sack percentage, 6th in EPA per play, 7th in points per game, and yards per play allowed defensively, and they've racked up 14 sacks already. This is a Falcons front 7 that has been so devoid of talent for so many years that after adding those 2 first-round draft picks, they've really made a big difference up front. And I think we're seeing that from Atlanta, and Raheem Morris able to implement the kind of defense that he really wants to play. So I like this Falcons team here moving forward.
Yeah, and a 1-4 over-under record going into this week. So one of the better under bets because of that defense as well going into week 7. On the other side, the Niners, I mean, we've talked about Kittle, Bosa, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, another week and another 49ers injury. But this time, Nick, it's sort of the heart and soul of that defense that went down. Fred Warner. My question to you, is this the injury now that puts the 49ers sort of past the point of no return this season?
To me, I think it is. Yeah, you saw the 49ers sideline just completely deflated after that injury. Just an awful one to see to have happened to one of the great guys in the NFL. Before that, Warner's missed, I believe, 1 game in his 8 NFL seasons, but he's really the quarterback of the defense. So now you're missing not only Warner, but you're missing your top tier pass rusher. You've got a really young secondary because they've kind of cheaped out there the last few years. We've got a defense that's 27th in pass rush win rate, and now they're devoid of their guy in the center who really does it all. He's such a versatile player, Fred Warner. He allows a defensive coordinator to call some more exotic coverages because he can run even with receivers up the seam. One of the top coverage linebackers we've ever seen in the NFL, and certainly a unit that will be in tough without him in San Francisco. You've got a 7th round rookie who's set to start in his place. So a really, really huge loss for San Francisco.
Yeah, and Fred sort of cut from the same cloth as the Patrick Willises, the Navarro Bowmans, and a very elite linebacker against the run, which, sort of segues to my next question. Bijan Robinson, it's been a really good start to the season for him. And you mentioned last week, a huge game for him. And now going into this week, number 3 in rushing yards, 5.8 yards per carry for Robinson. The Niners rank pretty highly in terms of rushing defense DVOA, number 8 in the league going into this week. Obviously, that changes now with the anchor out of the lineup. Are you interested, Nick, in any potential Bijan props for this one or no?
Yeah, so coming off that huge game, you're likely to see Robinson's props juiced to the gills in this one. I would be surprised to see his rushing yardage prop come in under 90 yards. And especially through the air, he's been a threat this year as well. He's gone for 10 catches and over 170 yards the last 2 weeks. So I would try to focus more on those, or maybe his rushing and receiving yardage, as he's kind of been more and more involved in the Falcons passing attack. For the rushing yardage, I'm going under. If that gets near triple digits, I have to go under there, even without the loss of Warner. I understand the effect that has on the 49ers defense, but it's just such a huge number that if they just win the football game and start giving carries to Algier in the second half, you're going to be in tough to hit those marks.
It's a patchwork 49ers receiving room at this point, going up against, we talked about the Falcons defense, but the top defensive DVOA in the NFL, the top passing defense DVOA in the league as well. Niners offense from this point forward is going to have to go scorched earth the rest of the way if they want to get into the playoffs with all these injuries accumulating. And we talked about Kittle's potential return. Any interest in this guy, George Kittle, in player prop markets for this one, or maybe, somebody else in that Niners offense?
Yeah, the return of Kittle would just give a huge boost to this 49ers O-line for sure. He's almost an extra tackle out there, and his loss really has shown up in all facets of the offense. You've got Christian McCaffrey running for 3.1 yards per carry, and the 49ers are actually 31st in run block win rate. So that just tells you how much they miss Kittle out there. He looked set for a huge season before he got hurt as well. But I don't think this is the game to target his props, as the Falcons are giving up just 17 yards per game to opposing tight ends. So I think if I'm targeting Kittle props, I'm fading him in this one. Although he might be a great sneaky anytime touchdown scorer bet, because we all know how much he dominates in the red zone.
Folks, sign up at Underdog today, and if you play $5, you can get 100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code UnderdogOS. Plus, they have a current deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus funds for new customers with their 50% deposit match. That's over at Underdog. And also, Sunday Night Football's gimme pick this week is Michael Penix for passing and rushing yards. So new customers can use that gimme pick where you can choose higher or lower on up to 8 of your favorite NFL players' stats. The more you pick, the more you're going to win. So sign up right now through the link down below and use that promo code UnderdogOS. Nick, let's get to your pick here. We talked about the number. You can find the Falcons as anywhere from, 2.5 point road underdogs here. The OddsShark computer is expecting a 14-point win for the 49ers, so someone is going to have to go and give that thing a reboot. But, Nick, what do you got for this one?
Yeah, maybe if they were healthy in this one, right? So, I'm on the Falcons. I got them at plus 3.5 at minus 164 over at DraftKings, but definitely shop around on that line. Just buying them across the key line of 3 here. The reasoning's fairly simple here. On the one side, we have a 49ers squad just absolutely decimated by injury without their starting quarterback. They're top 3 pass catchers. They're all pro pass rusher, and they're all world middle linebacker. On top of that, they're just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games. On the other side, we have a young ascending offense with a young quarterback who is throwing bullets out there. Drake London, who is eating the opposition secondaries alive. Bijan Robinson, as well as Raheem Morris's defense that appears to have really turned the corner. So I'm betting they can beat up on an already banged up Mac Jones without any competent pass catchers and even win this game.